This is the Jaffel Report.
Some days remind us of where we came from more than where we're going. Hey, it's your West Coast Canadian boomer with a personal observation on Remembrance Day in Canada, celebrated today, November 11th. Every year around this time, I notice the red poppies blooming, not in fields, but on lapels. There's something poetic about that, a kind of urban garden of memory. You can feel it in the crisp air outside the coffee shop, where the conversations briefly pause at 11 a.m., when the world, or at least our little corner of it, falls silent. That shared silence still gives me chills. It's not about military glory, at least not for most of us. It's about the ripples left behind when regular people get swept up by history. That all began, as you probably know, after the First World War. The armistice, that's the official word for stop shooting, took effect at the 11th hour of the 11th day on the 11th month back in 1918. According to Veteran Affairs Canada, the very first Armistice Day service was held in 1919, a year later, to mark that moment of peace. At first, it wasn't even called Remembrance Day. That came later. Officially adopted by Parliament in 1931, when Canadians decided to focus on memory, not just victory. And that choice, remembrance over celebration, says something about who we are. We don't do parades as much as quiet reflection. We watch elderly vets, their medals pinned over wool coats, and realize we're looking at living history. But here's the thing. Those living links are disappearing. According to a recent report from CBC News, fewer than 10,000 Canadian Second World War veterans remain alive today, most well into their 90s. So, what happens when they're gone? Do we lose the thread? Or do we pass it along in a different way, through stories, school ceremonies, and maybe even podcasts about peace instead of war? We've got a generation growing up who know conflict mostly from documentaries and video games. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does raise the question of how you keep meaning alive once memories fade. I'd argue the answer lies in expanding remembrance. Remembrance of all who serve, peacekeepers included, and maybe even those who protest and push for better answers. Because if the poppy stands for anything, it's the notion that loss can inspire empathy, not nationalism. So on this November 11th, I'll pin that red flower on again. Maybe I'll take a walk along the seawall. Maybe share a nod with a stranger. For 2 minutes, we'll be united not by what we believe, but by what we remember. Who am I, you ask? Just another friendly observer. Call me Jaffo. This Canuck Boomer thanks you for your time, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
TheJaffelReport.ca.
The Jaffel Report is downloadable from wherever you get your podcasts from. That's TheJaffelReport.ca. Life can be overwhelming, and sometimes we all need a moment to recharge. I initially discovered guided meditation back in my 40s, but neglected it until my heart attack in my 60s. Eventually, I started recording my own guided meditations, and now I'd like to share them with the public. Whether you prefer a simple, soothing voice or a rich experience by adding music with ambient sounds, I've got you covered. The meditation sessions start at $4.20 each. The first 3 are free. Visit 420guidedmeditation.ca. That's the number 420guidedmeditation.ca. And start your journey to inner calm. Your path to peace is just a click away.